Greetings and welcome to the wonderful world of programming. My name is Dan McElroy and I am the instructor for the course. This video discusses the course navigation. Topics include an outline of the course, how to log into Canvas, recommended settings for Canvas, working your way through the course modules, what Canvas thinks a syllabus should be, viewing your progress and grades on Canvas, and communicating with the instructor. This class is designed as a first course in programming and for students who have been programming for several years. We will start slow with how to use a software development system to enter and run your first program. Then we progress to features of the language, including variables, literals, constants, data types, functions, and arrays. We will also cover file access and objects. Canvas is the learning management system used to present this class online. All assignments, links to videos, class discussions, and submission of student work is to be done through Canvas. Canvas and MyWeb support. Might write this down somewhere. You can email the help desk at helpdesk@sjecccd.edu or call in at 408-270-6411. Canvas is also supported through the IT department. At our campus, it's called ITSS. When ITS is not open, evenings and weekends, and you need assistance with Canvas, call 1-844-303-0353. MyWeb allows all current students to register, pay fees, and purchase parking permits, view class schedules, grades, GPA, transcripts for all records in this district, and more. Need help with MyWeb? Visit the student FAQs or reference the How to Use MyWeb for Students resource. If you need help with Office 365, which is available to you, navigate to the following site, http://outlook.com/stu.sjcc.edu. On the Sign In page, enter your username, same as your MyWeb login, in the following format. Username @stu.sjcc.edu. Enter your password. The initial password is password with a capital P and your 6-digit date of birth. For example, if your date of birth is June 25, 1995, your initial password would be password 062595. If you need further help, contact the help desk at 408-270-6411. After you're registered for the class and the class has started, the two most important things are to make sure that you can log into Canvas and do the first lab assignment. If you are already registered for the class, you should be able to log into Canvas. Canvas is the learning management system, LMS, that's used to present the class online, receive your assignments, display your scores and grades. You should receive an email from the Admissions and Records Office about a week before the start of term with information on how to log into Canvas. The address for San Jose City College's Canvas website is https://sjcc.instructure.com, spelled out INSTRUCTURE. To log into Canvas, go to the Canvas website. Again, http://sjcc.instructure.com. Your Canvas username will be the same as MyWeb. The first 2 letters of your first name, the first 2 letters of your last name, and the last 4 digits of your San Jose City College student ID number. Make sure Stay Signed In box is not checked if you are on a public computer. When you first log in, Canvas displays a dashboard showing all your current Canvas classes. You can change the color for each class to help you more easily identify each class. These colors are used in other parts of Canvas, so don't pick a color that's too light or it may be difficult to read the text on your calendar or other places. Canvas also shows you if you have announcements or discussions that have not been read. The left sidebar has additional links for your account, calendar, inbox, and Canvas help. Important note, if you are adding the class, it may take one day before your Canvas account becomes active. You should customize Canvas before you even start working on your classes. The first thing to do is the notification settings. To start, click Account, then Notifications. Use this page to set how often you want Canvas to email you with messages. The most important thing is to set the announcements to notify me right away by clicking its check mark. I use the Canvas announcement feature to notify the class of important information or campus-wide information. I will also send a copy of the announcement in an email the first week, but after that, you are responsible for any information sent through the Canvas announcement. Other notifications you might be interested in setting with a high priority are grading, invitation, submission comment, and/or discussion. A legend at the top of the page identifies the icons for notify me right away, send daily summary, send weekly summary, and do not send me anything. Canvas settings give you the opportunity to set how you want your name to be displayed to other students. Click on Account, Settings, and then Edit Settings button on the right side of the screen. You can then change the display name if you wish. I would ask that you do not change full name or sortable name, or I may not be able to find you on my roll sheet when it comes time to give you credit for your work. Make sure you click the Update Settings button when you are finished. The course is organized into modules. A typical module contains the lecture material, quiz, and 1 or 2 lab assignments. A module is equivalent to 1 week's work during a regular semester. You can expand or contract the display of a module's contents by clicking on the module name. Showing here are the course outline and orientation for Module 1, Intro to C and C++. Other classes are organized in the same way. If I open up 0.1 Welcome to CIS054 C C++ Programming, it displays some information about the class. You can go to the next section within the module by either clicking the Next button at the lower right side of the screen or going back to the Modules page and selecting it there. Most of the module pages display 1 or more lecture topics and homework. Lecture topics may be presented using a video, a PowerPoint presentation, or both. A quiz usually follows lecture sections. Be careful when taking the quizzes. Some of the questions have only one answer. These answer selections are indicated by a round button, also known as a radio button. Other questions may require that 1 or more answers be selected to get full credit for the question. These answer selections are indicated by a square box, also known as a checkbox. Most lab assignments will require that you submit a report that includes a description of the assignment, the program code that was written to complete the assignment, values that were used to test the program, and a screenshot showing the execution of the program. The lab assignment page will contain a lab report in a .doc format. This format can be read by any of the modern word processors, including Apple Pages and OpenOffice Writer. Do not send any executable files as part of your report. The security system on the servers will reject the entire submission. I won't see it, and you won't get credit for your work. Look over the rubric. It's a scoring guide to see if there's anything you missed when you are about done with your lab report. Save or export the lab report as a .doc document before you submit it on Canvas. I can only read documents in the Pages format when I am on the Mac. Your work will be skipped over if I am on the PC. I will get to it eventually, but to make things easier for me and you, submit your work in the .doc format. Canvas gives their own definition for syllabus to mean a list of things that need to be submitted. Canvas allows the instructor to either place a real course syllabus or just a link in front of its course summary. I have placed links to the real syllabus here so that you can find this course syllabus. It is important that you read through the syllabus. It contains the official description of the course. I recommend that you save a copy of the syllabus. You may need this copy if you transfer to another school and want credit for all your hard work you have done. Both the Canvas syllabus and the grades links are great places to keep track of your progress in the course. Canvas has two different ways of displaying the total score. There is a checkbox at the top of the grades page labeled Calculate based only on graded assignments. With this box checked, it is a great way to keep track of your progress as you move through the course, assuming that you are keeping up with the work as it is assigned. I am showing an example for a fake student named Test Student. This fake student has completed all the quizzes and tests with 100%, but only the first 2 modules worth of lab assignments, 4 labs. With a checkbox active, the total score at the bottom of the page shows a total of 100%. This can be very misleading, especially at the end of the term. If you uncheck the checkbox, then the total includes all assignments, even the ones that have not been done or have not yet been graded. With this checkbox unchecked, it shows a total score of only 46.59%, not 100%. As a reminder from the syllabus, you can receive a C in the class by taking the quizzes and final and completing at least 1 lab assignment for each class session. The lab assignments are an essential part of the class. You cannot pass the class by completing only the quizzes, midterm, and final. There are 3 ways to communicate with me during this online class. 1, meet on campus. 2, email. 3, office hours using Zoom. I plan to be on campus only 1 or 2 days during the first week and 1 or 2 days during the last week of class. If this is your first programming class, it is very important that you make sure that you are able to get the first program running on your computer. Don't miss this opportunity to meet. I will send out an email of my available times. You need to email me back to arrange a time to meet. Email. I can be reached either through my campus email address, dan.mcelroy@sjcc.edu, or the Canvas email. After the class has started, I ask that you use the Canvas email. I get a lot of garbage on my Canvas email. I will answer the Canvas email much sooner than if you send mail directly to my campus address. Open the Canvas email system by clicking the Inbox icon on the left side of the screen. A list of incoming emails is shown. You can read each email by selecting it. To send an email, click the Compose icon. Select the course from the drop-down. Select the recipient. You can click the icon of a person to get a list. Enter the subject of the email. Enter the body of the email. Click the Send button. Make sure the subject line is relevant to your email instead of just tagging on to an old email with a different subject. Office hours are listed on the syllabus. Refer to Canvas for any updates to the office hours. In addition to being on campus a couple days the first and last week of class, I will be holding online office hours using Zoom. Email me ahead of time so that I can set up the Zoom meeting. If you're using a Mac, you will also need to download the Zoom app for the Mac. Get the Canvas app. If you have a smartphone, get the Canvas app. It is available on the iPad, iPhone, and Android devices. I really enjoy programming, and I really enjoy teaching. I look forward to working with you during the class. I hope that for you, the class will be enjoyable, educational, and intellectually challenging.